Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a guide for round 7 of the Manufacturer series. Let's get this started. For your first braking point, look for this black light that is hanging out before the 100 meter mark. Use that as your braking point. Slowly enter this first turn so that way you can go through the second turn at full throttle. Give yourself a little bit of space as you enter this right-hander. Ease off the throttle, wait until you're pointing towards the orange barriers, and then start to fully accelerate. Look for the final white line just before the bridge, as you'll need to brake just before you pass it. Try to stay on the inside as much as you can, and slowly start to accelerate. Bring yourself to the right, and wait until you're just about to start to pass this final shadow, and that's where you will start to brake. Shift down over time to get the car to rotate, and start to accelerate as soon as possible. Wait for the curb on the right to start, as that's where you will brake. Shift down to get the car to rotate. Then go on to the left, wait until the curb on the left ends, and simply just ease off on the throttle. Be patient on reapplying the throttle so you don't go off track and get a penalty. Wait until you reach the digital flag on the right or when the tire wall on the right ends, as that will be your next braking point. And once again, get the car to rotate as quickly as possible so you can then start to fully accelerate. Take advantage of the curb, brake just before you start to turn. Wait until you reach the bump on the right so you can start to accelerate, but don't hang out on the curbs too long. Then brake before the curb on the left ends. Brake before you reach this overhanging sign, as you will try to take advantage of going over these two curbs. Try to set up the car to go as straight as possible when you exit the second turn, so that way you can fully accelerate through this final turn as fast as you can, and you are good to go. Let's go ahead and talk about the strategies. When it comes to this race, the tire wear rate is really high, so you want to think about doing 2 pit stops. Now, the strategy that you want to go with will depend on how your driving style is and how the car itself treats its tires. So for the strategy that I went with, I started off with racing soft tires, switched on over to another set of racing soft tires, and eventually went over to racing hard tires, as racing hard tires are the required tires for this race. The other strategy is to go racing soft tires, then switch on over to racing medium tires, and then eventually go on over to racing hard tires. Now, to determine whether you want to go with the first or the second strategy, all you have to do is once again take a look at how your driving style is and take a look at how your car treats its tires. So with my car, the 911 RSR, it's pretty decent on tire wear, at least in my opinion, so I decided to go with the first strategy. However, with a car like the 458 Italia GT3, that one is pretty harsh on its tires, especially the rear tires, so if you're in a car like that, you can definitely think about going with the second strategy. If you end up going with the second strategy, the racing medium tires, they don't last much longer than the racing soft tires. It's still going to make the car pretty squirrely a couple of laps in, around the same time with the racing soft tires, so you pretty much want to pit at around the same time as that of the first strategy. And just as a precaution, try not to have your car sliding around too much, and don't try to scrub your tires by using more input than what is needed, which triggers understeer and increases your tire wear, because once again, you want to make your tires last as long as possible. And finally, don't worry about fuel. You have more than enough fuel to finish the race without needing to refuel at all. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this guide. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.